Well, Jim, let's get another email here. This isn't actually a question. It's in reference to something we talked about on the Experience, I believe, last week. Dusty Rhodes and Andy Warhol's diary. Someone found the entry that I mentioned, and they sent it in here. From February 20th, 1978. I'll read portions of this. Monique Van Moren was having a sit-down dinner at Premiere at 9:30, and I'd said yes. I forgot that Tom Sullivan had tickets for wrestling because he'd met Dusty Rhodes the wrestler at an airport and they'd become friends. Let me go past this next one. Here we go. Tom picked us up there at 8:30 and we went over to the Garden and there were like 26,000 people there. I thought wrestling was a dead sport. I didn't know so many people went to it. Dusty Rhodes was wrestling a Japanese guy. They all wear sequins, all of them. I guess they got their style from Gorgeous George. He really influenced them. And they strip on stage.
And by the way, Andy Warhol may have been a groundbreaking artist, but he's no fucking William Shakespeare as a writer, by the way.
What's his diary again? Catherine went to take pictures, but the fight was over in 8 minutes. Now they're getting good-looking wrestlers. Dusty Rhodes said he'd be right out, but he didn't come out until about 20 minutes. He wore lots of jewelry, gold things, and he had dark glasses on. But when he took them off, it looked like he still had them on. He had huge dark rings around his eyes, and he had lots of bruises all over. We took him with us to Monique's Diner. He has here in parentheses wrestling tickets, $16. Then we went to the Lone Star, and they wanted to go dancing. Up to Harrah's. Dusty was a little apprehensive when he saw all the fairies, and he asked for a girl. The owner got a girl from someplace behind.
Wait, hold on. The first thing I thought was fairies and pixie dust and everything, but apparently this is the 70s non-politically correct version.
And let's also mention Andy Warhol was a gay man, so he's saying it about other gay men.
Did you know Andy?
Yeah, actually we did.
Okay, well, I did not. So I wasn't aware of what his various persuasions
Well, he
were.
didn't really announce it, but now all these years later, there have been books, there have been different things that have come out about different people he was partners with throughout his life.
Well, what does his business partners have to do with this?
Well, okay, let's get back to this. When he saw the fairies, he asked for a girl. The owner got a girl from someplace behind us, and he fixed him up with her. Then, after Harrah's, we dropped Dusty and the girl at the Sheridan, and Catherine and Tom picked up hamburgers, and we went to Westbury. They dropped me off.
You know, I wonder if Dusty knew that he was going to get stooged off for messing around in Andy Warhol's diary years later.
You know what? He's sitting there. He's like, I wonder what's going on. I know what I'll do. I request a girl.
Yeah.
I would like a girl right now, please.
Is the lady here?
And they found one.
Chance?
And they had one. That's the other funny thing. He requested a girl and they had one ready to go.
Well, you never know when you might need one.
At the Sheridan.
At the Sheraton. That's where they usually hang around.
Well, luckily, Andy Warhol got picked up by Tom Sullivan in this tale. And luckily, Tom Sullivan's car was working, but if there was a problem with Tom Sullivan's car and they couldn't get the American Dream and his woman to the Sheridan, maybe they should call someone or get in touch with someone for the best auto parts.
Well, you don't have to call anymore, Brian. That's old-fashioned. That's old school. You don't have to pick up the phone. Now all you got to do is log on to the interwebs, the World Wide Net, and you go right to rockauto.com. That's what you should have been doing. Your car wouldn't be shaking and shimmering and vibrating like a dog pooping peach seeds if you do the maintenance and you'd replace these things in a timely fashion, whether it's a crankshaft manipulator or whether it's the grease that makes sure that your thermostat goes through to the circuit box correctly. All these things and more are available at rockauto.com, no matter what make or model of car that you have, no matter what year. You got a 1929 Wombat? Hey, well, actually, you might be fucked. But if you've got anything still drivable, chances are that rockauto.com has the part that you need. from engine parts to simple things like carpet and even draperies. And my God, you ought to see the incredible napkin sets that they have. And you can set your entire dinner table. But that's nevertheless, the main thing you want from rockauto.com is auto parts. And you go to that website, their catalog is unique and easy to navigate. No matter what type of motorized conveyance that you are trying to outfit, whether you mentioned ferries, whether it be a ferry boat, whether it's ferry you across the Mersey, or whether it be a car, a truck, a unicycle, a bicycle, a tricycle, a motorcycle, a tank, an amphibious submarine vehicle, whatever the case. You navigate this website, you pick your part, you choose the brand, you choose the specification, you choose the prices you prefer. You can't choose whether to pay for them or not. That's mandatory. And they'll send them right to you, the same prices for professionals as well as do-it-yourselfers. And folks, why spend up to twice as much for the same parts that you're not going to be able to figure out how to put on your car? You can get them from Rock Auto for much less and still screw the whole thing up. And when you go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car or truck, even if they're ones you don't need, get them. You might need them in the future. And write JCE in their "How did you hear about us" box, just so we look good. You'll get nothing but satisfied with the high quality and low prices at rockauto.com. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need, and then some. People often have parts left over when they finish fixing their car. In that case, just put them in a box. Your neighbor might ask for them later. rockauto.com.
Well, Jim, let's rock on with this show here with that awful transition. Let's rock on with the drive-through.
Rock on with the show.